Week one of the Monroe Cheesemakers intramural basketball season is in the books, and boy, was a good start to the season. Hello, everyone. I'm Ethan Rosen, still here to bring you a recap of Week one, plus a preview of Week two. Thanks for joining us. Intramural basketball coverage from the Monroe Cheesemakers is brought to you by Ripper Brands. We'll be including player interviews, coach interviews, referee interviews, in-game content, predictions, and hot takes, and a special segment on each week's episode of the Ripper Podcast. You can catch that all right here on the Ripper Brands YouTube channel. A little bit of a week one recap for you. 3 out of the 4 games that were played week one were decided in the last minute of each game. So a lot of great contests to start the season. We also had a basket scored on the wrong hoop, which was awarded 2 points to the other team and allowed for a 1-point defeat for the red team. So not a good look for the red team. Hopefully some coaching will prevail and we will see a solution to that come week 2 of the season. Keithan Johnson had a historic day in the paint, totaling a whopping 10 rebounds, both offensive and defensive, helping his team. And the black team showing some rust early on, as they are fueled by many former players and players who have basketball experience. Here are the current season standings. 3 of the 5 teams have played 2 games thus far, and it oddly enough, the teams that have only played 1 game are both undefeated, sitting at 1-0 at each team. Is included is the point differential that is considered the tiebreaker. So the gray and white teams both 1-0, and the gray team with a +9 point differential compared to the white team's +4 point differential, and a couple of 500 teams at 1-1. Both of those teams, the blue and black teams, are in the negatives in their point differential. And then the red team looking to get back in the win column, as they are 0-2 to start the season with a -3 point differential. So here's the current the current awards race. These awards are all done by us here at Ripper Brands. And so they are our personal picks are currently based on the stats and the performances. So your MVP award, which is given to the most valuable player for their team. Top of our list is Parker Isley, former Cheesemaker basketball player, averaging 10 points a game. Waylon Yoder for Team Gray as well. He's at 9 points a game. Same with his teammate Trey Dahman. And Keithan Johnson, who we mentioned earlier, at 8 points a game. And then Garretton Green for Team White. So the 2 undefeated teams so far, they both have multiple representatives on our top 5 list for the MVP award so far. A lot of top points per game averages in the league. Parker Isley leads the league in points per game, and so that is our MVP race. And then the Coach of the Year. We're gonna award the Coach of the Year. Currently, the top of our list is Bryce Rowley and Aaron Benchall for the Team Gray, who is undefeated. And then the sophomores, which consists of Peyton Herbst, Marcus Ott, Makai Brown, and Logan Taylor. They all, that coaching staff and Team White, the 2 undefeated teams that we have. And then Team Blue, Taylor Herbst, the featured coach, is are coming in at 3rd for us. And so there's your Coach of the Year award list. Offensive Player of the Year given to the player in the league that has the best offensive performance. And as we said earlier, Parker Isley is averaging the most points per game in the league, followed by some rivals from the gray team, Waylon Yoder and Trey Dahman, both at 9 points per game. So after week 2, this could get a major shakeup, as the points per game are very similar. The Defensive Player of the Year, similar to the offense, just on the other side of the ball, the best defensive player in the league. Currently, Caden Bloom of the white team on top of our list, followed by Brett Lane from the blue team and Keithan Johnson, as we mentioned, with his 10 rebounds. Got to give recognition where recognition is due when you get double-digit rebounds like that. The Comeback Player of the Year. This award is given to a former Cheesemaker basketball player who is currently dominating the league right now. Like we said, the front runner in pretty much every award, Parker Isley, on the white team, he is the top of our list. And then Gavin Falker from the black team, and then our front runner for Defensive Player of the Year, Caden Bloom, rounds out our Comeback Player of the Year award list. Let's take a look at some of this week's games. We got 4 on the slate coming up this Wednesday at the Aux Gym at the Mineral High Schools. Make sure you come on out and catch the action of your classmates, teammates, and friends. Gray versus blue, red versus white versus gray, and blue versus black. And so your blue and white teams and gray teams all have 3 games this week. And so we're going to make our picks, my personal picks of who I think I'm going to win, and we'll see how well I do. We'll start with the top game, gray versus blue. Gray's coming in, 1-0. Blues 1-1. Give me the gray team. I'm going to go gray. Or no. I'm sorry. I'm going to go blue. I'm going to go blue team is who I determined. I think the blue team they're going to make a shake up here. Taylor Herbst's led team. Lane Meyer possibly getting back into the mix after a bursted appendix. A couple good basketball players like Ethan Hayden, Gavin Hendrickson. Compared to the gray team, only played 1 game. Haven't seen much out of them. Trey Diamond leading the pack for them. Athletes like Tony Wolf feature the team. Waylon Yoder as well leading the pack so far. And Keithan Johnson, the big man in the paint, having a performance. But I'm going to go with the blue team. I think the blue team's going to be able to prevail and be successful. Red versus white. Red team they're struggling. Give me the white. I'm going with Team White. Caden Bloom, front runner for Defense Player of the Year. Parker Isley, front runner for every award. And the sophomores are in the mix for the Coach of the Year. Give me the white team. And then white versus gray. And this is going to be a great game. The 2 undefeated teams currently. Give me the white team once again. I think right now, with the way Parker Isley's playing, defense as well, and a great coaching staff, I think that the white team might be the team to beat coming into week 2. And then blue versus black. A couple of 1-1 teams trying to get back into the win column and improve their records. The blue team has multiple opportunities, but they could also backfire on them, while the black team only plays 1 game this week. And I'm going to this is a good matchup as well, but give me the black team as well. That's a star-studded lineup with former players like Brady Weiss, Gavin Falker, Jakar, Breutzman, Daniel Preen, Dutch, P. Weck. Every player on that roster is an athlete, and you'd have to consider that, they have to put numbers up, like we said, as one of our headlines from week 1. They were showing some rust, and now they're coming into it where they got an opportunity to get that record to 2-1 and be in the mix going into week 3. So give me the black team. Additional things coming up this week. Some of our content we'll be producing. Interviews with the Comeback Player of the Year candidates, players, former players, people like Brady Weiss, Gavin Falker, Jakar, Gehrig is an opportunity, Daniel Preen, Kanan Bloom, and many more. And so we'll be providing that content for you. And in-game coverage from the week 2 of the season, some highlights and big plays, and some funny moments as well from week 2 of the season, and some of the games that prevail in that. And then also interviews with player coaches and referees. In fact, always 3 teams on the court at all times. And so you can never forget about those guys. And so that's what we got coming up for you this week. And with that being said, that's going to wrap up this miniature edition of our Monroe Cheesemakers Intramural recap and preview between weeks 1 and 2. Thanks for joining us for a quick little recap. And last week was a lot of fun, and we hope we have a great turnout. We look forward to this week. But until then, I'm Ethan Rosensteel on the Ripper Brands YouTube channel saying so long.